it's Crafty Hope. I am here at my craft desk today. I've decided to do a series of some basic jewelry making tutorials. To start off with, I want to say that I am a self-taught jewelry artist. I haven't taken but a couple of lessons to do some more advanced skills, but when it comes to the basics, I learned through different books and magazines and all of that and trial and error. But I wanted to share what I do know and let you know that, disclaimer, I'm not like professionally trained by any means. So today I wanted to start off by talking about some of the tools that you need to get started with jewelry making, and specifically the pliers that you might want to go out and purchase. Now, what I have are really kind of cheap-o things. You don't have to go out and get the most expensive pair of pliers, especially when you're starting out. These are different things from craft stores, from being bought online. This is from the hardware store, I think like a Harbor Freight type thing. And, you know, just get you some tools and try. If you can only get the cheapest thing, that's fine. If you are in a position to buy something more expensive, I guess do it, you know. But, you know, if you can get some cheap ones and try them out and see what you like, do it. So let's start by going over what some of the basic things you need are. I personally think that there are 3 specific pliers that you need to get started. After that, everything else is just kind of fluff, you know. It helps, but they're not necessarily to get started. The first thing I think you need are a pair of wire cutters. Now these are kind of bulky, and like I said, I got them, they were probably like $1 or $2 at like a Harbor Freight type store or just a cheap tool hardware store. Secondly, you need a pair of chain nose pliers. These are specific for jewelry making. They don't have little grooves in them like some. I've got a pair here that I also bought. They came with the jewelry making kit, but they've got, oh, can you see those little grooves in there? And I don't really like using these unless I really want to get a good grip on something and pull it. Otherwise, I use these without pliers. Now, they're called chain nose pliers, but I'm often calling them flat nose pliers because they're flat. So that's my thing. But these are like my go-to favorite probably pair of pliers is a pair of chain nose pliers. And lastly, a pair of round nose pliers. If you can see these, they are completely rounded. Both sides round. So those are the 3 main things that you need to get started. A couple of additional things that, you know, are nice to have if you want to go ahead and get them. I really like, instead of just these wire cutters, I really like the flush cutters. They have a really nice edge on them, so you can get right up against whatever you're cutting and not, you know, these are just a little more bulky. So I really like the flush cutters. Also, bent nose pliers. You can see the bend in the nose. These I use with my flat nose pliers to kind of twist and do different things, and it's great as a second hand. So bent nose pliers, again, not necessary. A crimping tool is always great, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of stringing. These these crimping pliers are perfect. They've got, if I can get it in there, little divots here that are good for crimp tubes. So those are the main things. And then a pair of scissors, which everybody's got. They're not specifically a jewelry item, but you know, you never know when you just need a pair of scissors to cut some thread or silk or leather, whatever you're gonna be doing your beadwork on. So let me tell you again, the 3 things that I think you need are a pair of wire cutters, a pair of chain nose pliers, and a pair of round nose pliers. You can get, and I have this kit that I keep for travel, and it is perfect, and it comes with pretty much everything you need to get started. It's got a pair of crimping pliers, flat nose pliers, flush cutters, wire cutters. They've got a couple pairs of tweezers here. This little tool is great for scooping up beads. There's round nose pliers, flat nose pliers or chain nose pliers, and then there are these nylon jaw pliers, which are good for like straightening wire or twisting wire when you don't want to mar the wire at all. So, and I've got another pair of those here. They're a bit bigger, and they're the ones that stay on my desk. There are a ton of other pliers out there that you can get. I've got these little ones that have 3 different levels for making different size loops. I've got these which have a nylon on them that are bracelet bending pliers. I've got some really big industrial chain nose pliers. Here's some flat nose pliers that actually are, well, pretty much flat all the way around. So there are other pliers out there you can get. There are probably lots more that I don't have. Again, there's different price points that you can look at reviews. I'm not going to endorse any particular brand because I haven't tried some of the really expensive brands. And then, just as a side note, if you don't want to get wire cutters to start off with, that's one of those things you can nix, because when I started, I didn't have wire cutters and I used, I'll admit it, nail clippers. But like I said, I found these for $1. Nail clippers at the dollar store are going to be $1 too. So if you can find a place like Harbor Freight, or we've got a place that's a tool supply store that has cheap stuff that, you know. So those are my basics on the tools that you need. And thanks for looking. I will be coming back with the second video on the materials that you need to get started in jewelry making. Thanks.